What's going on, guys? This is VinylicPuma, back with another Borderlands countdown video, and today I'd like to go over 10 of what I think are among some of the best guns, weapons, and gear for Mordecai the Hunter in Borderlands 1. Now before we start, I'm mostly going to be focusing on specific weapon and class mod recommendations since Borderlands 1 tends to be a little more subjective when it comes to choosing grenades and shields. With that in mind, Mordecai tends to specialize in snipers, revolvers, and pistols, so you'll be seeing a lot of great gear recommendations centering around those weapon types. Also, it was pretty hard to just pick 10 items for this list. I'm sure there are going to be plenty of items I could have included but didn't, so if you have a favorite gun, class mod, or item you like to use on Mordecai that doesn't appear on this list, that doesn't necessarily mean that it's bad, it just means I didn't have enough room to include it. As always, feel free to leave some of your favorites in the comments section below. Otherwise, and without further ado, let's go ahead and start with number 10, and that is going to be the Truckskin Wrestler class mod. While Mordecai is typically used at longer ranges, melee Mordecai actually works fairly well. After all, given Mordecai's aptitude for revolvers and pistols, it is worth mentioning that revolvers and repeater pistols can come equipped with either the Razor or Lacerator blade accessories, which tend to provide the highest amount of melee damage bonus. Beyond that though, Mordecai actually has a pretty nice ability in the form of Lethal Strike, which allows him to deal impressive amounts of damage with melee strikes. While it is based on a base 35% chance, you can potentially score upwards of 500% lethal strike damage without class mods, which yields some pretty impressive damage output. The Truckskin Wrestler class mod basically just makes this playstyle a little more viable. After all, the Truckskin Wrestler can improve your percent-based melee damage and bullet damage resistance bonuses, while also being able to boost lethal strike by up to +4 for a total of 9 out of 5 in the skill. At that point, your base melee damage boost provided by Lethal Strike should be about 90%, while your Lethal Strike bonus hits at upwards of 900%. Otherwise, the Truckskin Wrestler provides a viable and fun alternative way to play Mordecai. So if you're getting tired of sniping or using pistols, be sure to keep an eye out for one of these class mods, as they can drop from the Truckskin Wrestlers that are found in the Lockdown Palace in the General Knox DLC. Number 9. The Torg Violator Repeater Pistol. So it was a tough decision between this and the Thanatos, however I think I ultimately decided to go with the Violator due to its similarities to the Double Anarchy SMG, which is an SMG that fires 4 projectiles per shot that I quite like. Unlike the Double Anarchy though, which is restricted to being non-elemental, the Violator has the benefits of being able to take advantage of accessories, meaning you can get a Violator in any element as well as one with a double accessory, which brings the projectile count to 4 instead of 3. This is pretty cool in my opinion and makes the Violator a bit more desirable, even if the Violator's barrel penalties are noticeably higher than average, with a significant decrease to base damage and a significant increase to recoil in exchange for a projectile multiplier and greater fire rate. My only complaint with this thing though is that it's burst fire, meaning you have to repeatedly pull the trigger to bullet spam enemies at closer ranges. This is admittedly unfortunate, however I don't think it undermines just how useful or good the Violator can be, and shouldn't dissuade one away from what is a fantastic repeater pistol. Ultimately, I really do like the Violator on Mordecai, and be sure to keep an eye out for one as they can drop from any suitable loot source. Number 8. The Gunslinger class mod. It was a really tough decision between the Gunslinger and the Gunfighter comm, because on the one hand, the Gunfighter is actually a really good class mod that provides some pretty nice bonuses to Jakob's revolvers, by potentially increasing their damage and either their reload speed or accuracy. It also boosts the Gun Crazy skill, which is great for basically any pistol, as it allows you to potentially gain an improved chance to fire 2 shots per trigger pull without consuming any additional ammo. However, I think I'm ultimately going to go with the Gunslinger simply because it doesn't only benefit Jakob's gear. Plus, if you're looking for a great class mod for all of your pistols, the Gunslinger tends to be a better choice, even with the bizarre boost to the loaded skill, which only benefits sniper rifles. Aside from that though, the Gunslinger boosts fire rate, and provided you get one of these with Material 3, it can provide pistol ammo regen, which is incredibly useful for machine pistols and other repeaters that have a tendency to consume a lot of ammo. In fact, and depending on the quality of the class mod you receive, your ammo regen can easily exceed the amount of bullets you can fire, thus allowing you to potentially have infinite ammo in a sense. The skill boosts for the Gunslinger comm are pretty decent too. Deadly improves your damage on critical hits, while Relentless is a skill that can improve your fire rate, as well as provide you a 25% chance to deal a certain amount of killer shot damage, which at 9 out of 5 in the skill, you can achieve upwards of 180% killer shot damage. Overall though, I'd say this is a pretty great class mod, and if you're looking for one, be sure to keep an eye out for these as they can drop from any suitable loot source. Number 7. The Maliwan Pestilent Defiler Revolver. While it's really supposed to just be called the Defiler, the Pestilent prefix is the only prefix that can spawn on the Defiler, hence the longer and cooler name. As for the revolver itself, it's a great weapon for Mordecai to take on the various Crimson Lance and other corrosive vulnerable enemies in the game, and this is due to a number of abilities that come from the Defiler's unique accessory. Unlike many other elemental accessories, the Defiler actually ends up boosting damage rather than reducing it, and as for its special effect, the Defiler seems to have a pretty large proc radius, meaning that you can potentially apply a corrosive status effect to multiple enemies with just one shot, if all of the enemies happen to be close together. The Defiler also works fairly well with a few different class mods for Mordecai as well. You can pair it with a Gunslinger comm, as that allows you to boost the potential of your pistols or revolvers, or you can pair it with an Assassin comm, which boosts corrosive damage. Alternatively, you might even be able to find other comms that achieve great results too, depending on what you need for a given situation. In the end, the Pestilent Defiler is an awesome corrosive-only revolver, and if you want one, be sure to keep an eye out for it, as it can drop from any suitable loot source. Number 6. The Sniper class mod. So this is one that should really be a no-brainer that you pick up for Mordecai. After all, it can improve the critical hit damage of your sniper rifles, and depending on what material you get, you can either have it improve your sniper rifle's accuracy, or it can allow you to potentially regenerate sniper rifle ammo, which is incredibly useful. As far as what skills are boosted, you're getting a boost to Caliber, which will increase the amount of damage you deal with snipers, Focus, which will improve your accuracy with all weapon types while also reducing your sway while aiming with snipers, and finally, the Sniper comm boosts Carrion Call, which will reduce the amount of cooldown for your action skill, provided you're scoring critical hits. Of the three skills, I would say that the better ones tend to be Carrion Call or Caliber, and try to find a Sniper comm with either one of those boosted. In general though, I'd say if you're planning on doing a bunch of sniping on Mordecai, this class mod is really a must-have due to how it improves critical hit damage, it improves sniper ammo regen, as well as just for what skills it boosts. This thing should really come in handy no matter what sniper rifle you use on Mordecai, and if you really want one, be sure to keep an eye out for them as they can drop from any suitable loot source. Number 5. The Jakob Speci Sniper. So, I suppose technically, the Bessie is a pretty great sniper on all characters. However, given Mordecai's aptitude for sniper rifles, I think it makes sense to recommend what is essentially the best Jakob sniper rifle as one of his best weapons. What makes the Bessie special is that it has 0 projectile spread while scoped, which actually makes it more similar to how sniper rifles function in Borderlands 2, in that the projectile you fire will always go where the reticle in your scope is positioned. This makes the Bessie very reliable for long-range shots when compared to things like the Cyclops, which can still potentially miss despite the fact that the Cyclops is capable of superior zoom. The Bessie's special effects come from the unique Bessie scope, which, in addition to essentially eliminating spread, also provides a slight boost to the weapon's zoom when compared to the standard highest zoom sniper scope. It also provides percentage-based bonuses to other things like projectile speed, damage, and critical hit damage, which makes the Bessie a great choice for sniping and just really landing those critical hits. I'd say the only real downsides here are the lack of an element and the Speci being a pump action. Having access to a semi-auto's superior fire rate and being able to come in all elemental varieties would have made the Speci a little more powerful than it currently is. However, for what it is, Speci is a phenomenal sniper for Mordecai, and if you want one, Speci can drop from badass Desperado enemies, and it can also drop from Cromarax. So be sure to keep an eye out for this amazing sniper as you play through Borderlands 1. Number 4. The Dual Penetrator Sniper Rifle. Unlike Borderlands 2, where fully automatic snipers are pretty common, Borderlands 1 really only has one, which is the Dual Penetrator, which is actually supposed to be a legendary weapon. However, due to a bug, the Penetrator's rarity doesn't display properly, which is unfortunate. However, the Penetrator more than makes up for that given its full auto status, and just like Borderlands 2's various Vladov snipers, the Penetrator can be pretty OP given its high potential DPS. Otherwise, the Dual Penetrator's unique barrel greatly reduces recoil, boosts fire rate, and slightly improves magazine size. Plus, you may also be interested to know that the Dual Penetrator barrel can also appear on the unique Dual Reaver's Edge quest reward sniper rifle, effectively making the Reaver's Edge a hybrid. What's cool about this too is that it allows the Penetrator to benefit from the Reaver's Edge's unique scope, which increases zoom, reduces spread while scoped, and improves magazine size. Ultimately, I'd say if you're running a sniper build on Mordecai and you're looking for a true automatic sniper in Borderlands 1, the Penetrator or the Reaver's Edge Penetrator hybrid are excellent choices, and are highly recommended by me. The standard Penetrator can be obtained from any suitable loot source, while the Reaver's Edge variant is obtained from an NPC named Reaver, who is encountered during or after the Two Wrongs Make a Right side quest in Crom's Canyon. Just keep in mind if you're going to go for that latter variant, it is extremely rare. Number 3. The Hyperion Nemesis Repeater Pistol. When it comes to repeater pistols, the Nemesis is definitely one of the better ones available. It's actually one of the first dual or multi-element weapons in the Borderlands series, and unlike something like the Chimera, which is somewhat unpredictable, the Nemesis is far more consistent with its shock-only status, as well as its special effect that adds additional corrosive projectiles for additional damage and damage over time effects. And obviously, I'm recommending this repeater for Mordecai due to his affinity for pistols, as skills like Hair Trigger and Gun Crazy can really allow you to get the most out of the Nemesis. It also helps that the Nemesis has the potential to come in a hybrid variant, which allows the Hyperion Invader pistol scope to spawn with the Nemesis accessory. What this does is allows you to get both the special effects and stat boosts of both weapons, meaning you can get the crazy DPS bonuses the Invader scope provides while scoped, in addition to the dual elemental special effects provided by the Nemesis accessory. Pair this with Mordecai's Gunslinger comm and you should find that the results are quite satisfying. Overall, the Nemesis is a phenomenal weapon, and while I suppose it's great on multiple characters, given Mordecai's affinity for pistols, I think you'll find it can be one of the best choices for him. If you want it, be sure to check the drops of Badass Defenders, Badass Infantry, Cromarax, and also check Crimson Lance weapon chests as well in the General Nox DLC. Number 2. The Orion Sniper Rifle. Much like the pearlescent Speci, the Orion is a phenomenal sniper rifle for multiple different characters and builds. After all, the Orion is in a way reminiscent of Borderlands 2's Pimpernel in that it's used in a somewhat unconventional way to deal damage. Rather than shoot directly at a target's head or crit spot, the player can simply aim at the ground just in front of their intended target and simply let the Orion's ricochet projectiles hit enemies, dealing a considerable amount of damage. You'll also be happy to know that aside from the cool ricochet effect that's provided by the Orion's unique accessory, it doesn't provide a base damage penalty like your standard elemental accessory does, and actually ends up improving the clip size of the Orion by 4, thus allowing the Orion to have a decently higher magazine size than your average sniper rifle. What I would say makes using the Orion on Mordecai better than other characters, though, are the complement of skills and class mods that can help improve the Orion's capabilities. For example, skills like Loaded can further improve the Orion's mag size, thus requiring less reloading from the player if they decide to make great use of the Orion's ricochet potential. Also, you can get your hands on a sniper comm, which allows Mordecai to regenerate sniper ammo on top of boosting sniper rifle damage from skills like Caliber. In the end, the Orion is a great sniper rifle for Mordecai thanks to his aptitude for snipers. So be sure to keep your eyes peeled for an Orion, as they can drop from any suitable loot source. And finally, number 1, the Jakob's Unforgiven Revolver. Though its pearlescent Borderlands 2 variant leaves something to be desired, the Unforgiven from Borderlands 1 is actually pretty great, and given Mordecai's propensity for revolvers, it would seem right to not include the Unforgiven on this list. What makes the Unforgiven special when compared to other Jakob's revolvers is the increased damage it receives from its unique barrel. While you do get increased recoil and lower fire rate with the Unforgiven barrel, you're getting a noticeable damage increase over a similar non-unique barrel, as well as improved critical hit damage, making the Unforgiven perfect for scoring headshots on foes. Also, and unlike a few other legendary/unique revolvers, by having these special effects being provided by the barrel, you can also get a number of very useful accessories to spawn on an Unforgiven, such as the bladed or razor accessories, which go well with Mordecai's lethal strike, and of course the sought-after masher accessory, which can yield crazy damage output and turns the Unforgiven into a revolver/shotgun, much like Borderlands 2's Maggie. So I do think you'll find that having the Unforgiven's effects confined to the barrel does yield advantages in what kind of accessory can spawn on the gun. In my humble opinion, this is one of my favorite weapons for Mordecai, and if you're looking for a fantastic revolver with great damage potential, go with the Unforgiven, as it's pretty OP. Alright guys, I think that's going to wrap up this particular video. Did your favorite piece of gear for Mordecai make it onto this list? Feel free to let me and everyone else know in the comments section below. And as always, like this video if you liked it, click the bell so you can be notified when I upload more videos, and as always, and again, thank you all so much for supporting this channel. Take care, and I'll see you all in the next one.